Hello, my name is Stewart and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to talk about my 5 tips for better macro photography. So these are going to be my 5 tips for anyone who's just getting into macro photography or want to improve their game when it comes to macro photography. Now, most of these tips I learned last year that took my images from this to this in just a space of 1 year. Okay, so let's dive in and let's get started. Let's talk equipment. For this video I'm going to be using my Canon 650D with the Yongnuo YN24EX twin macro flash, a 50mm 1.8 lens, which is the nifty 50, and I'm currently using a 31mm macro extension tube. Links to all this equipment is down below. If you want to check those out, you can do. Now, you can do this with any type of equipment because the tips I'm going to give you are generic tips that can be used on any camera, any equipment, any flash, any lens. Okay. So before we go and get into the tips, I'm just going to take a picture of how I did with my zebra jumping spider that I took in 2016. Okay. Okay, so you're walking outside, you see an insect like a spider or a ladybird and you take a picture, and generally this is what you're going to get because you're just bending over, you take the picture and that's what you get. So for my first tip, what I want you to do is to get down to the same level as your subject or lower. You need to photograph them from a unique perspective, and I find that being at their level gives you a lot better image. Tip number 2 is to always focus on your subject's eyes. Okay, so let's do that one now. So there you go, you can see we're getting a lot better image than we did before. Tip number 3 is to play with your f-stops. Now I'm currently at 3.2. Okay, so what I want to do is open that up to f8. And what that will do is it will increase my depth of field, that I'm able to get an entire head in focus while still maintaining an out of focus background. For my tip number 4 is the background. The background in macro photography is very, very important. Okay, now as you can see from the images that we got so far, we have a nice pink flower, we have Missy, and we have an ugly grey background. Now if you haven't got something that's close, you will find that if you're using flash, you're going to have a black background. Now I'm not a fan of the black background. I don't particularly like it. There's a lot of people who do. That is your choice, it's personal choice, but for me I like to have a colourful background that makes your subject stand out. Now to do that, if you're out in the wild, you can bring in some foliage to give yourself some background colour. Alternatively, what you can do is you can purchase these cards here, and I've got these from a crafts shop, all different colours, and what I can do is I can place these behind and photograph my subject. That's what I would do if I was out in the field. I would use those, but for this example I'm going to use something a little different just to show you that you can use anything as a background. So this is what I'm going to use for my background in this example. It's just a canvas print that my daughter has, and I'm going to place that in the background. So let's take another image. So you can see from there we've taken a boring grey background and turned into a nice colourful one. So let's move on to the last tip. For my fifth and final tip, it's actually a 2-in-1 tip. And what that is to diffuse your light and shape it. So let's start with the first part, and that's diffusing. Now what I have here is my custom diffusers that I created for my Yongnuo twin macro flash. If you haven't seen that video already, I will link it down below. So I'm going to place those onto my flash. And as you do this, you will need to compensate for your flash because you're going to have less light coming out. So let's take a shot with just the diffusers on our flash. So as you can see from that one, you can see that the light is diffused and the shadows are less harsh. Now let's get on to the second part of the tip, and that is to shape the light. Now on my flash here, I can adjust the heads. So I'm going to bring one of the heads up, like that. So I'm going to simulate daylight coming down. And then I'm going to change the power on this so that this is the dominant light and this will fill in the shadows. Now if you haven't got one of these, then what you can do is you can use a normal flash with a bounce card. That will give you the same result. So let's take another shot. There you have it, that's 5 quick tips for better macro photography. If you've enjoyed this video, then please leave me a comment down below. If you're new to my channel and you like this type of content, and there's going to be more coming, then please subscribe, click the bell icon to get notified of when new videos go live. But for now, my name is Stewart Wood, this is Missy, we'll see you on the next video. I would like you to... Oh god, how hard is it just to get a few lines out? Oi, don't jump on my camera. Hey. That's it. I knew you wouldn't be able to reach. Why? That's why we have a towel down, because if she does try, she's not going to hurt herself. Now what you can do to get a better background. And now we have to wait for Missy to get back up onto the flower again before we can continue shooting. You're going to jump over there, Missy. What the hell? They truly say not to work with animals or children. I've done both. They are the hardest subject. So she's still playing around on that flower now that we've finished. She's having a right field day, isn't she?